company located in Stussel, Duncan's, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard. It's owned and operated by Communication Company Limited, located in Stuart Castle, Duncan's, Trelawney, Jamaica. We broadcast on FM 96.7 locally and is heard worldwide on FitFMJA.com. Our mission is to amplify diverse voices and opinions, inform, educate, entertain, and engage listeners of all ages and lifestyle while promoting responsible community development. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
Cultural Mix, an exciting radio show identifying and showcasing cultural diversity across the world through music views and lively discussions. Join Bev Moonchild on Fit FM 96.7, Fridays 6 to 8 p.m. Cultural Mix, everything cultural. Tune in. Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music.
You've got to give, yes, I'm standing 10 feet tall. Yeah. Never let the system get you down.
Know yourself, know your roots, know your culture. You're in tune to Cultural Mix with Bev Moonchild and Fit FM 96.7, Fridays 6 to 8 p.m. I must
I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall. I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 above them all. Well, things may not be like you want them to be, yes. So be wise, you got to try carefully. Well, there may be obstacles in your way. Just remember, Rome wasn't built in one day. I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall. Well, I'm standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 feet tall, standing 10 above them all. Well.
10 feet tall, we're standing 10 feet tall. Welcome everyone to Cultural Mix. It is Friday, December 2. Wow, at the end of the year 2022, coming down nicely. It is December 2, the 2nd of December, and it is Friday, and I am your host, Bev Moonchild, and I'm asking you kindly to be with us for the next 2 hours. We are in the studio of Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We say Akwaba. Akwaba is welcome. Welcome everyone, wherever you are, wherever you are, wherever you are, we say Akwaba. Whether you're in Trelawney or you're in other parishes, St. James, St. Elizabeth, St. Anne, St. Mary, wherever you are, we say welcome. Listening us on www.fmj.com, we say welcome. Facebook Live, we say welcome. If you're joining us on YouTube, we say welcome. Wherever you're joining us from, we say Akwaba. We hope to have a really good evening this evening as we talk to Melody Anra for the second time. So this is part 2. And she is ready to talk with us. In a little while, certainly, we'll be joining her. But guess what now, people? From in the afternoon now, coming in on the road, me notice how the road quiet, you know? Me no hear no excitement, me no see no horn blow, me no hear no horn blow, me no see no light of flash and so. And a particular team was playing today in the World Cup. I mean, I hear nothing. Me no hear nothing go on. So me wonder what is happening. I'm not following up the World Cup, but I listen to people all the time. And it seemed like a famous team was playing today. I mean, I hear one word happening. Me no see no posting on Facebook. Me no see none. So me I wonder what happened to that famous team. Anybody can tell me what happened to that famous team today? The football lovers, like everybody, gone quiet. And as I talk about quiet, somebody was saying that usually, whether it is football, whether it is World Cup, whether it is Olympics, whatever is happening, there is usually a lull in Jamaica and maybe worldwide where crimes and nefarious activities are concerned. When these sporting activities are taking place, everything upon pause, you know? Yeah. All the people involved in them nefarious activities and, violence producers, these people, them are watched too, so them can't do the two things at the same time. So some persons say Jamaica is benefiting from it. I don't know if you want to call it that. And other parts of the world, they are benefiting from this where crime is concerned. It's kind of on a little lull, Maybe them could have World Cup twice a year or something. I don't know if you find this is happening. But it is true. We're laughing, but it is a fact, it would seem. So that's not too bad. What else is happening this week or has happened this week? Certainly, we realize now that the roadways are being cleaned and highway are cleaned up, and you realize that something is in the air. And some people say it's Christmas that is in the air, right? Some people love this time of year. Certainly, I love the time of year because of the cool breeze. Wow. Hot, and I wonder what will happen to you tonight. From 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, step in, just cool and nice. You can manage. So I like the end of year for this. And I also like the end of year for the getting together of family and friends and so on, helping other persons. Some people are gifting others. So I enjoy that. And as I talk about gifting, we also do our Love Our Seniors initiative. And this year we are doing it again. So if you are one of those who want to assist us with treating our seniors, just give me a link, right? As we continue to love our seniors. So that's it really, as we get to talk with Melody Anra. She's going to be talking to us. We're going to have a little discussion on African spirituality and spirituality in general, How do we see ourselves in the world? How do we operate, And she talks mainly about understanding our birth chart. We're going to be talking to her more, understanding the birth chart, and of course, the role and the importance of numbers in our lives. I was reading something yesterday, and it was a quote from Confucius. It was a quote that says, numbers, how it go again? Numbers, something another. I'm going to get it and come back after we take the little break. We're going to play a little music, and then we come right back. And when I come back, I'm going to come back with that quote from Confucius. Read it yesterday for the first time. So I'm going to find it wherever I had it written down and come back with it. We take a break. We soon come back. Cultural Mix. We're breaking for a little music, and then we soon come back.
It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. As it was told from the beginning, be careful of your grave, you will be digging in. It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. As it was told from the beginning, be careful of your grave, you will be digging in. Things may be rough, things may be tough, but we keep holding on to the promise God has made, that even through the greatest tribulation, we will still be saved. As much as there are battles that we go through, by maintenance of valor, triumph will always be due. Keep on holding firm, just grace and mercy we surely earn. It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. As it was told from the beginning, Be careful how you grave you will be digging in. It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. As it was told from the beginning. Be careful how you grave you will be digging in. Rastafari leads the way every single day. By being devoted, we'll never crumble or sway. His glory resides in each one who seeks Him. Victorious power, 70 sustains. Blessing my faithful who maintains. It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. As it was told from the beginning. Be careful your grave you will be digging in. It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. It's just the times that we're living in. It's hard, as it was told from the beginning. Be careful how your grave you will be digging in. It's just the times that we're in. It's hard, but we're not giving in. As it was told from the beginning. Be careful how your grave you will be digging in. Things may be rough, things may be tough, but we keep holding on to the promise that even through the greatest tribulation, we will still be saved. As much as there are battles that we go through, by maintenance of
Welcome back, welcome back to Cultural Mix. I am your host, Child, and we are here in the studio of Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. We have now Melody on Raw. She's ready to talk with us. Melody, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. A little bit under the weather, but I'm gonna try to make it through.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Once we come on to talk, the spirits and the energy of life will guide you as we go through this evening. How are things on your side? What's happening? It's December 2. How are things looking on your side?
December, boy, I can't wait until we wrap up the New Year's, The time of December is a time of reflection, a time to kind of look at our lives, what we did all year, and to see what needs to be replanted, need to reap, need for clean up, need for cut out, need for shape up, so we can go back into the New Year's ready. So that's what's going on with me. And on the 6th is my birthday. So I'm getting ready for my birthday.
The 6th of December is your date.
Yes.
Well, we know, just imagine what that celebration will be like. But Melody, last time talk, we had a lot of things to continue talking about. And this evening, I'm happy that you're able to stay with me to come back for part 2. And so we don't even want to waste no time. We want to get straight into it. When we spoke, you talk about the importance of people knowing their birth chart.
Yes.
And that is where I want to start this evening. Talk to us about birth chart. What really is that and how important is that? What we need to do?
So let me break it down a little bit. So I've collected so much notes over the years, and what I've come to realize is that we're like the solar system, and that's probably where they got the word the soul. We're made up of we're not just flesh, we're spirit, we're energy, and just like the solar system, we're made up of planets, and each planet have its own characteristics and its own job of what to do in its solar system. And so we're made up of all different types of elements and energies. And so the birth chart is like a snapshot of who at the time of your birth. It's like a snapshot of what the stars or how the planets were lined up at the time of your birth. And that's what they call the birth chart. And on the birth chart, you have the sun sign, which is the sign that most of us know. For example, my sun sign is a Sagittarius because I was born in the month of December. But you also have your moon sign. Your moon sign consists of your energy, your emotion, how you handle emotions. You have Venus. Venus is a planet of love. It represents.
We kind of lost you earlier.
You lost me?
Hold on. We lost you a little earlier. Yes. So go back where you said the moon sign. The moon sign. Yes.
So the moon sign is.
Go back from where you were talking about the moon sign.
So the moon sign, it governs your emotion and how you how you react to things that trouble you, like your emotions, how you feel about things. That's what your moon sign is. For me, my moon sign is Capricorn, and Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's a most balanced energy. It's grounded. It really doesn't like to shift too much. It doesn't. Capricorn, they would say, is like the father of the universe. They're the planner. They're the one that go out and find the home. And there's other aspects as well. You have Venus. Venus represents your love, your partnerships, your relationships, your children, and the type of people that you are likely to attract in your life and who you shouldn't attract in your life. You know, your North Node is who you're supposed to be in this lifetime. That the sign that you when you start to know yourself and know who you are, you come into your North Node. So there's so much different dynamics of it. I'm still studying it. It's so in depth, you know, but it's very fascinating once you get into it.
When I hear you say just a while ago that when you know your when you're aware of your birth chart and the different aspects of the birth chart, it will tell you what kind of partnerships you can forge, who you can get into your life, who is attracted to you, who are attracted to, and the people, the kind of relationships that you will have. And I start to think, Melody, that sometimes people into relationships, that's really bad for them, you know, and they end up being end up in some very toxic relationship. And sometimes it's so difficult for some persons to get out of these relationships. So if it was a case where people knew of what you're saying to me now, understanding your birth chart, have guided those persons, for example, to the choices that they make partner-wise and maybe be.
Right.
You were hearing, okay.
So the thing is, we bump into these things for a reason. And I came to know my birth chart because of being in difficult relationships and wanting to find out who I was. And in going down this rabbit hole, I started to unravel all of these different things. And so we go through certain experiences in life so that we can get to the next level. That's the reason why we went through it in the first place, right? So there's certain things that we are just not going to avoid when you enter into this space. Because what I've discovered, and it's funny because a lot of the things that I've uncovered is not through books, is through hidden knowledge inside of me that because I've searched a lot of these things, they have come to me through divine. I don't even know where I can tell you they came from, but I can hear them in sounds and in my psyche, right? And so what I'm trying to say is some of the experiences that we experience, like for instance, I came into my North Node because of a previous relationship that kind of propelled me into that, making me know who I am. And when I went through this and then I started studying my birth chart, I realized that this person, his north node was Sagittarius, which is my sun sign, and my north node was his sun sign. And I realized, okay, so I had to meet this person. I could not avoid this person. And in order for me to be who I am, I had to go through, it's almost like a reborn, like a rebirth, you know? And so we have to go through certain stages in life. But yes, having and knowing the birth chart and what's in it really helps you. But there's certain things that we have to go through to take us to the next level.
Tell us again what you said the north mode is.
So the
one's north
is,
mode is
and it's north node. It's
node, north node.
N-O-D-E, yes. So your north node, it's almost like,
right.
It's almost like being a child, right? And as a child, you grow up and you were, say, for instance, for me, I was a shy child. And I think I developed being shy because of the way I was raised, you know, to be quiet, you know, speak when you're spoken to, these kind of things. And so that light in me that wanted to shine was kind of dimmed, right? And I think growing up that way, I didn't speak up a lot. When I was in class, I would, you know, if the teacher asked a question, my voice would be so low. She would say, "Can you speak up?" So I kind of made my voice kind of small. And I think going through the trauma of this relationship, it made me find my voice. And so the opposite of a north node is your south node. So as a child, I was in my south node. And the opposite of a Scorpion is a Taurus. And Taurus are very reserved. They're homebodies, this is who I was at this time as I'm growing up. But then going through this process in my life, I'm kind of went into my south node, my north node side of myself. And that's when I kind of, you know, got into who I am.
Okay. So one may ask, how do we work out the birth chart now? How do we access this? What do we do? How do we know these things?
Okay.
Is there a way to do this?
Yes.
Where's the information available?
And I always tell persons, this is how I have done it, is you're not going to get everything in one scoop. It takes time and consistency. And so what I have done, I've gone on websites called astro.com, astrology.com. There's another one called cafeastrology.com. And what they have are, you put in your information, you put your date, your date you were born, the time you were born, your name, and the date and place of your birth. And what it does is it calculate that time. And if you don't know your time, that's okay. Some of them will allow you to leave that space blank. And what it does is it calculate that chart, and it gives you very detailed depth printout about who you are. And I'm telling you, sometimes I read things and people have told me, but you know, sometimes people tell you things they don't really pay attention to. But when you literally see it on paper, you know, I'm like, wow, you're kind of blown away. And it really opens up your mind too about it. You learn more about yourself when you study these things. And when you learn about yourself, right, it becomes so empowering that if you was a person that was shy before, you're no longer shy, because now you are saying, this is who I am because I was born on this day, at this time, at this place. You know, and so learning this thing is so empowering, and I really feel like children should know this. Yes. I think children should know this thing. And I think this is the reason why these things are not taught in school. Because who wants a bunch of people being empowered, right? They don't want empowered people running around here. You know what I'm saying? People who know themselves, so you won't be controlled. If you know yourself, you can't be controlled and manipulated.
Yes, especially children.
Exactly.
Yes. So this would tie into the whole thing of when you understand yourself, you become a liberated soul. You become a
Yes.
when and the value of yourself. When you truly understand who you are, I would want to agree with you that it's a very liberating kind of feeling. Liberating time, it's a liberating moment,
Hmm.
and the whole world just look different. You start to look
Yes,
at
it
things
does.
differently. You start to look at people differently. Things just start to come clear,
Yes.
and you start to
You start to
understand.
be
And
the
it is at that
creator of
point
your
that
universe
things begin to happen.
because you're
Create the
now
kind of
becoming
world that you
aware.
want.
Yes. You're
Yes,
becoming aware of who you
aware,
are now.
our symbols, aware of the yes, and
Yes.
how things are important to you, and so you get that feeling now that you are in control,
Yes.
or you are
Yes.
being guided, so you kind of
Yes.
understand now when to go, when to stop, where to move, when not to move.
When not to move. Yes. Who to speak to, who not to speak to. When for wrap your hair in a
And
red. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
talk to me,
So so
Melody,
there's
talk
so
to
all
me.
right. So
You're
you,
kind of
you
close
have
to where the colors to.
yes, it all plays a part. And I tell you this, you see, when we don't, once we become aware, because um, some of us are traveling on this earth and we're really not aware. You know, I always say there's a lot of people that are here, but they're not here. They just go through the motion, go through the motion. So they're not living in in this moment. They live
Mm-hmm.
in 2 months from now, next year, them don't them weird, them the too far behind, right? So being in the moment allows
Mm-hmm.
you to be with yourself, in this moment. No matter what's going on outside, or your gunshot could have fire, and being in within this moment allows you to be free from being caught up with the matrix. Because I'm telling you, because we're energetic being, it's easy for us to be caught up with this thing, right? Before we came on, I feel like I was all over the place. um and I felt like, I kept on hearing my ancestors say, put, because I'm thinking of what am I gonna wear, and they said, put on the red. And did you know that I took it off, and said I'm gonna wear a black hat? I'm gonna open up the closet to take down the hat, and the something lick me in my nose. I mean, no said them, I tell myself, me not tell you to wear the something the red, or we take it off. So these are the things they do all the time. Yeah, all the time. When I don't listen, them
Yes,
put me
yes.
down.
So hold on, Melody. I hear you talk about them, and and so on, and people start to say them who them a talk to you, who them you're listening to, who them telling you what to do, who is them?
Okay. So them come in a different form, right? And them so enough. That's why I said them. But the voice is
Mhm,
the same. The voice that I hear is the same,
mhm.
right? It's a very soft, subtle voice. And they're strong. I pick up on Nani's energy. Anytime
So
I kind of
them,
get
when you
ready,
say who exactly you're referring to?
I'm referring to my spirit guides. I'm referring to my
Mhm.
ancestors. When we came to
Oh,
Earth, we chose to come to this Earth,
okay.
right? We chose to come here. And I discovered that I could tell you through studying my birth chart that, when look a baby, them I look between them leg, right? What them tell us that mean? You remember that? When the baby them man put them head down and them a look underneath them leg.
Go again. Ask the question again.
You remember when the baby them when they see a little baby, right? And them
Yes.
a look underneath him leg. What that mean?
What them used to say again? When
If
them
them
when
a
the
call
babies
him
bend
baby, I
down
call him
and
brother
look
and sister. Now
under
that them
them.
say.
So what them usually say?
Them a call
Them a
in them
look for the
sibling.
mother one.
Okay. Ancestors, who didn't
You
them know
see.
them something there? Oh, we ancestors know them something there. You know why? I tell you why I figured this out. When I started looking at my children's birth chart, I realized that they had similarities. I'll give you an example. my son, the last son, him is a firecracker.
Mhm.
And I always say he's almost like the male version of me growing up. Similar, everything red, just like me, fire. And his north node is Libra, right? And his sister's north node is Scorpion. And I realized that his sister who called him I broke up. His sister
The
who called him.
sound is leaving us. The sound is going. Yes, it's breaking up.
You hear me now? How is
Yeah.
it now?
Oh no, you're not coming through clearly. Something going on with your microphone.
Uh-oh.
All right.
All right. Tell me now.
Just keep it where it was when we're hearing you clearly.
Right there?
Right.
Okay, right there?
Let's go now. It's north node, yes?
So
right
I
there.
realized that his sister called him to, and she called him in. I don't know if I said a word, but she basically called him in. And the reason why she called him in because she was prepared to be his guide on this earth. So I've always said to her, Mariah, you know that you're the one that is supposed to guide your brother, you know, as an air sign. So there's connections on these birth chart so that you can know whose job is to do what on this planet. You can see these things on the birth chart right in front of you. So back to your question when you say, who is the them? When we came here on earth, we came here not just by ourselves. We came here with angels. We came here with demons. We came here with spirit guides. And our ancestors are always with us. So the job of the demon now is because they know that we're coming here is to protect us, because this is not turn the other cheek, because this information that is put in on, remember I said it was taken from us, you know, it was stolen, not all of it. Some of it is still within the DNA, but them couldn't take, right? But remember, the information that was taken is not them not want to give it back to you that easy. Because when somebody takes something from you, they don't want to give it back to you, especially when them build country out of it. Them turn president out tight, then turn prime minister out tight. All of these things are all of our knowledge is what they're using to kind of control.
Very valuable. They don't want to give you back.
Exactly. Right? So we just come on earth by ourselves. We came here with an army. So that's why I said them, because I can't specify who the them is. But what I can tell you is I know each of them individually because I will get the vision depending on the situation. You see? So if something I go on, like when the COVID thing was going on, and me just you know, kind of upset about the whole thing, all the people them kind of shut down the whole country and everybody's still like a fool, as I follow everything. And me just see nanny, me just feel nanny, and me just feel hot. You know? So me call upon nanny, but there's many of them. I've seen
so how you know it was nanny? How you know it was nanny? How you know it was a nanny energy? What gave you that confirmation to say
the
yes?
Vision.
And nanny disappear, you know.
I got the vision of nanny.
How you know? Okay.
I got the vision of nanny, and I got the feeling of what nanny would be feeling at the time when she said, you know what, enough of this slavery thing now, we're done with this. Enough of this, we're sick of this now. Who are come with me for come, and who now come, no come, who no can't can. I saw me I go. So when I start to feel them kind of energy, I know I clear red, me see a nanny, me see bush, me see tree. You see? Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So anytime I get any kind of I'm clairvoyant. I get messages through audio, I get it through vision, and I get it through my sense of touch. That's why every time I have to cover my shoulder, I have to cover my head, because I'm very sensitive to touch and to feeling. I can smell things in the spiritual realm. I can hear things in the spiritual realm. So I can hear certain things going on, having conversation. I mean, I wonder, where that sound they come from? Or where's that strange smell coming from? You know? The other day, I'll give you an example.
How about smell? Wow.
Yeah, man. And when them, all right, so last week, I can tell you this. I was cleaning the room. I was doing something. I smell breadfruit. I smell breadfruit. No, me love most Spanish people. I'm not smell the breadfruit there, so in Jamaica me there. So I wonder where the breadfruit smell come from. So what I was thinking was maybe my ancestors wanted me to put breadfruit on the altar, which is what I did, right? So anytime I get any kind of inclination, sound, me act on it. Me not ask question. Me not say when. Me not say why. Me just do. And it take me out of everything, like I said in my last interview. It has saved me many times.
You talk about putting the breadfruit on the altar, so you have an altar, right?
Yes, I honor my ancestors. And before, when I first was interested in an altar, this is when I was kind of, before I even got so deep into my my practice, my spiritual practice, I thought about an altar and I said to myself, what altar they in a church? At this time, I was already stopped going to church, and I just didn't feel, I just wasn't getting the right thing out of church. It just me never there. So things wasn't sitting well with me, the things that I was seeing. And so, but I wanted to still practice my something. I wanted to still honor this God that we're talking about, right? So I wanted a
We're not hearing.
You not hear me?
Clearly.
You hear me now?
No, it's kind of breaking up. There's a delay and there's a break too. So you might speak, it don't come through to us so clearly and at the time when it should come. So we know there's a delay. There's a delay somewhere there.
Are you hearing now?
Go back to where you were before and just leave the phone where it was. Is the phone you're using, right? Because we were hearing you well before until we hear that this kind of delay now happening. It is that way with technology sometimes. We just have to understand that when it starts to act up, we have to find some other things to do. So we're going to take a break, Melody. We're going to come back, make we see if things will sort out when we return. Cultural Mix taking a break. We'll be right back. We are in the studio of Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. I'm Bev Moonchild. We'll soon come back.
Some people are better than the best. The value of standing firm once they pass the test. Carve out your own path, no need to follow the rest. It's crucial for your purpose to manifest. Once you overstand this, you are eternally blessed. And can still rise up even when downcast. Trust I will be there in the moments of being distressed. Are you the ones that I invite you about? Trusting I know He's able. For surely He has prepared the table, ensuring that honest child and I are capable. No need to falter because of bad-mindedness. Stay clear from all kinds of slackness. Even those who curse are in need of peacefulness. Often it's the deepest pain that leads them to this wickedness. There's a deeper healing that needs to occur. Pure love given abundantly causes the goodness in the wicked to stir. Your love only causes the sin of wicked to stir. Are you the ones that I invite you about? For surely He has prepared the
Welcome back to Cultural Mix. I am Bev Moonchild, your host. It's Friday. It's December 2, and we are talking with Melody Ann-Ra. She's a clairvoyant. She's talking to us about spirituality. She's talking to us about birth chart. She's talking to us about numbers. Melody, are you able to hear us now? Because we had a little issue before we took the break.
I can hear you
hear
fine. I can hear you. I can hear you now. Are you hearing me okay?
May I hear?
You hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you now, dear. And let us hope it stays
Okay.
right. Yeah, man, we
All
hear
right.
you good, loud and clear and nice. We're
Nice.
here. So before we took the break, we're talking about you hear them through touch, you hear them through smell, you get the messages, and we were on the point of altar, setting up an altar, and how you felt when
Yes.
the message came to you. Let us continue
So,
with that.
so I got to the point of I wasn't sure what direction I needed to go, but I needed a place where I could sit, pray, meditate, and just, speak to that higher self. And I wanted something sacred. And I looked at church and I started looking at the church and saw what they did with the altar. Now, the altars that I've seen in the churches, they're standing on it, or people are kneeling at the altar, somebody's standing, and it didn't sit right with me. I felt something sacred should not be stepped on. And so I wanted to dig more into creating something that represented my ancestors. And so I started doing some research, I did some reading, and I came up with something that matched the elements, fire, earth, air, and water. And so the fire was a candle, and of course water in a jar, in a glass. And the earth was maybe a plant, and the air represent maybe like an incense, which is the air. And so I had photographs of my my past relatives, and that's where I sit there and have conversations with them, and my higher self, and that's where I just sit and do my meditation. So that's how my altar came about.
So how do you tell us how you use the altar? It's a space where you go to every day, twice a day,
I wish.
How has it helped you? How you operate with the altar?
So my altar is I wish I could get up and go there every day. I should be. But it's a space where I do meditation. I try to do my yoga. It's a place where I go to clear my head. On certain days, I do certain lighting of a candle. Like for instance, when my grandfather passed, I lit a white candle to kind of free him, have him go to the light, or to just balance his energy or the space within the space, and sometimes I would put a little rum in, because my grandfather loved his rum. I would put a little rum in a jar for him, and the rum down, you drink it. I don't know where it go, but it goes somewhere.
So the spirit
evaporate. It evaporated.
Evaporate.
Evaporate. I say, yo, that's
yes. My friend wrote 4 minutes to 7, and in London there was 5.5 hours midnight cultural mix. She's saying in mind, gut feelings, and voices telling you what to do or say. This can be seen as mental health by some people. Some people are going to say you're mad.
Yes, listen, you know what? I'm glad she touched on that. Listen, there was a lady, I wish I can get her information. She was so-called diagnosed with a mental illness. And what she figured out, she found a nurse inside of one of the wards that kind of helped her, because she said the medication was not really helping her. So she found a nurse that helped her with meditation and yoga, and it eventually took her off of her medication. And what she figured out doing meditation was that the mental illness was her taking on the cries of the ancestors. So it was overwhelming. So her body mental capacity could not take it. And what she realized was that's what mental illness is. It's an awakening. That person is going through an ascension and they don't know what to do with this. So that's why they're hearing voices. So because we live in a Western society that does not recognize our spirituality, look at what 4444 upon the clock. You see that? because they don't recognize our spirituality, they turn this thing and they give you medication, which makes this ascension worse, right? So that's what mental illness is. It's an awakening, but it just happened too fast. That's what's going on.
So how do you avoid that if that's how you look at it? Let's say how you look at it is so.
That's an excellent question.
How you avoid that for it to slow down? How you slow it down?
So I've heard story of children who have been raised in family where when they start seeing visions or they start to see entities, their parents will tell them, say, you're too fool, that's not gossip, a foolishness. Or you will have another child who's gone through that same experience, have a parents who help them to nurture this thing. They don't run them, they don't scare them, and they help them to how you say it, not to cope with the energy, but to figure out what this energy is. What is it? What are you seeing? Why are you seeing it? Why is this part or this energy or this entity showing itself to you? And so this person who has gone through this ascension and who's getting these voices started this process probably from they were babies, right? And it wasn't nurtured. It wasn't it was somebody didn't notice it. They didn't know what to do when they saw it. They didn't know how to help this child with it, you know? And so that's probably why. So they're getting these messages, but they don't know what to do with it. You know, so and then you know, sometimes some people come to this earth because I always say, no, it's like why it's hard to say, but what I can say is that we all come here with a mission, with a plan. And some of us come here with debt to pay from past life. And if somebody came here and they're going through what they're going through, I don't know what their past life was. Maybe they you know, maybe they did something in a past life and now they're paying for it in this life. I don't know. That is an individual thing. I would have to look at the birth chart to even look to see what am I going through. You know, but it's very hard to just look at it as a broad scope like that.
So, Melody, tell me something. There's something I want to touch on, but just said this a while ago. I'm going to talk about it. So, let me tell you, talk about it. So, you get the messages through touch,
yes,
smell, and so on. So, I'm going to talk about that when I ask you this question. So, life, you may have been this in your life. You may have done this or that in your past life. What past life you really talking about though? Because if you're born the time you're born, did you come here or the
okay, so as we know, right, there were times when dinosaurs roamed the earth, right? There were different times and time periods on this planet. You hearing me?
Yes.
So there are different times on this planet. There are some 649 on the clock. There are some that would say that we have many lives. I haven't gotten to that stage of my studies yet. But what some have said is that when you die, they want us to think that our ancestors are some black and white photos on a wall, or their bones are in the grave, and them just gone. But what happened to the spirit? That's just the flesh. The flesh goes, but what happened to the spirit? The spirit still lives on. The spirit have to go and come back. And some spirit, some spirit is not settled. Some spirit is not settled, so it roam. And some spirit come back because they have unfinished business to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And so you go and you come back.
Those spirits come back now in a new body.
Yes. Yes. I'll give you the story. There were some roaches, right? We see some roaches in the kitchen. And my son is very he's very empathic to everything, right? Even the roach. And me I stamped the roach one time, and Zakai said to me, say, Mom, that's a living thing. You always tell us that it's a life. And I thought about it. I said, you know, Zakai, you know, say a truth, you tell me for you. And then I started remembering as a child when my grandmother used to raise chicken. And when you lift up a rock and all of the bugs them and the roach them start run, the chicken them run for the roach. So I said to myself, why would a spirit choose to come on this planet as a roach? And what the message that came to me was the people them who come kill off people pitney and just rape off people pitney and them come back as roach. So that means that for them life, when them are run and gonna kill people, them for them life, when them come back to the next life, somebody gonna run them down and pick them and kill them. That was the message.
It sounds funny, but it sounds funny, but when you look, when you listen to what you're saying, because persons always, I am one of those who ask the questions too. So we are spirit in flesh.
Yes.
When the flesh, and some people say when you drop flesh, when the flesh no longer exists, where does the spirit go? Where it goes?
It goes into the ethers.
The soul. What happens to the soul?
It goes back into the ethers.
Time of death.
It goes into the ethers. And the reason why I know it goes somewhere.
The spirit must go somewhere.
It does.
Yes, it has
does
to go somewhere.
It goes somewhere. And I can tell you why. I take care of elderly people. And when they're dying, two things I notice always happens. Somebody that has passed comes back for them. And the reason why I know that is because by the time I leave, after I'm spending time with this person, he tells me, don't leave because when I go to sleep, I'm seeing dead people. This is days before he passed. So I realized that he's having conversations with people that has passed on, right? Okay. Another thing that I've noticed is when they're dying, they're reaching out like this. And what I think they're reaching out is a light. They're either reaching out to somebody's hand or they're reaching out to a light. Because I've heard them say, while they're in their unconscious state, in their dying state, saying that there's a light, turn off the light. And when the place pitch black, them I say, turn off the light. So yes, the spirit leaves, but the soul goes to a different dimension that is nothing of this earth. Until it's ready to come back. Yeah.
I want to believe you, Melody. I have had that experience. I could talk about it also, but this evening we are talking to you for you to kind of enlighten people. Rosalie saying, she's answering to the question about solar spirit. She's saying it could be reincarnation of your family souls.
Yes.
So in fact, there are other souls there and they come in different form. And that is why you have some group of people who not even ants them don't kill, not even fly them no hurt, not even mosquito hurt them is just life. And whether it is in mosquito form or whether it is in ants form or whether it is fly form, life is just life. And they don't hurt life and they don't destroy life. That set of people. You talk about the roach. There are people who even will get messages they say, and the messages will come. Animals are through these insects.
Yes.
Life is just, it's just
we're
one
all
big
connected.
But when we don't understand,
you
see, when we don't understand what's going on, we kind of want to demonize the things that we don't understand.
Yes. But we have to ask the question is where did the demonization come from? The question is where did the demonization come from? Right? Where did it come from? How did it get from not demonizing something?
We're all influenced. We know where it comes from. Yeah.
And this is what my spirit guides have shown me.
Because Mhm.
What my spirit guides have shown me
Go
is
ahead.
that we've been so raveled in this web of lies and deceptions and upside down thinking and backwards thinking. We literally have to turn back around and twist ourselves up and come out of ourselves. So that's why I really,
Mhm.
when anybody asks me how did I get to this stage, right? Is what I say is study the birth chart,
Mhm.
study astrology, right? Study these things. And when you do, it starts to open up, it unlocks something within your solar system. It unlocks something in you that you just nobody can tell you nothing.
Mhm.
Your third eye start to open. Your whatever
Mhm.
your gifts are, because we all come here with gifts. We all come here with gifts. Them not send we up, so we not without none, because they know where they're sending us to. They know what they're sending us into. We just forget
Mhm.
because of the society that was created. First of all, the society that we live in is not ours. It was created, and we just come live in it. So we have to learn back what we have
Mhm.
been unlearning. And once we start to look at these things and start to study ourselves, is when we're going to realize that, wow, we've been lied to all along.
Yes. We are kings and queens. We are.
Yes,
We have debts that know is lying dormant, and it's lying
yes,
dormant because we were programmed. That
yes,
education and that structure in which we raise kind of make things within us. We look on things, and we stigmatize,
yes,
demonize some people too.
yes,
So I'm
yes,
happy that I'm talking to you this evening. Right. So you say you get the messages through like touch.
yes.
Touch on that for
Feeling.
me.
So
When you get a message, touch, a
I
feeling.
okay, I'll give you an example. I have a client, and I strongly believe that the property that her house is built on has some type of entity on the property. And the reason why I didn't feel that way when I first walk into the room. Because them not show you themselves quick. Them a size you up. I saw up the stair. Them size you up. So anyways, I realized that this lady go to bed at 12 o'clock, and every time this lady go to bed at P9 after the light go off, the roof up here knock, 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 knock on the top of the roof. Then I start here knocking at the kitchen, and I said, what is this? What is going on here? So me the thing, so maybe them have some trees on the property, so maybe I stop and fall on the roof. So I me brush it off. 2 days later, same thing again. And next week, same thing again.
Mm.
And I said to myself, say, no man, something not right. So I noticed this lady was very depressed. She's very depressed. And when I went to work, I started to take on her depression. I started becoming sad, and I said, you know, like what the feeling is. So one day I was sleeping on the couch, and me don't know if me do so, me don't know what me do. But the knife was so, the knife in the house is just too much. I don't know what me do to my neck, but me crick my neck. Me crick my neck to a point where I couldn't even move it. So I started to look for acupuncture. And when I met the acupuncture, the person I
Mhm.
met, she's a Chinese, she's from China. And me and her started talking. She said, what do you do for a living? I told her I'm an empath. I work with
Mhm.
persons that are on their spiritual journey. And I also work in healthcare with people that are sick and who's, transitioning. And she said, you know that you have to really
Mhm.
protect your energy because you're open. She said, you're gonna attract a lot of entities. And if this lady is always depressed, you're gonna
Mhm.
also start to feel it. So you have to really do more than just burning your safe. You have to do a salt bath every day before you go into this place. So I said, I told her that I was telling her about the noise that I was hearing in the
Mhm.
house, and she said, you know what? Sometimes spirits are like lost souls, and they just need somebody to guide them to the light, give them permission to go. So when she tell me that, no, she puts a bug in my ear to say, you can't tell the spirit for go. I say, what? You can't tell the spirit for go? So anyways, I went to work that day because me say me have a sleep because I worked 4 nights with that lady, and the lady up 3 times a day. I'm tired. I'm coming like a zombie. So I said, no, I have to get some sleep. And what I did was I brought my sage and I brought one of my incense stick. I can't remember the name of it right now. And I burned this as soon as she go to bed. I burn out the house with the sage. And I light my incense stick and put it right beside my couch. I'm saying me I sleep tonight. And did you know that I didn't hear anything? A matter of fact, before I went to sleep, I started speaking to whatever was making the noise. I don't know how, but I know say noise is in there. I'm telling them, listen, when you come in here, come make up your noise. When you cause depression for the woman, me want to sleep. You can make up any other night you want to make up noise, you can make, but this night yeah, me want to sleep. I'm not lie, the next day I sleep like a baby. And when me realize that me do, me say, what? That empower me even more. Me say, what? So to answer your question now, you say, how do I feel things? I was playing on another client's couch. Because remember, some of their own people that are passing them, I got all kind of energy in their house, right? And as an empath, these energies recognize you because you can communicate with them. They recognize you. So either them are going to come trouble you or them are going to try use you to communicate with them. I saw them work. So I was lying on the couch one day and I was sleeping. But I can't really deep sleep because I have to be aware of what my client is doing. Him now I can get up and hurt himself. So, but I know somebody asleep and I felt something coming towards me. It was walking towards me and I opened up my eyes. But I never see anything, but I feel it. I know some feel the energy. And I get so cross. I say, hey, listen man, nothing of this today. No yet today. And from that day, I never feel the energy again. So I can't feel things. I can't see it with my eye, what it is, but I know something is there.
Okay. And there are those who are able to see.
Yes. My family members are seers. When I was a little girl growing up.
And
yes. My little girl, my 11-year-old, she can see. She's a seer. I always told her that she's a seer. She can see them clear.
Okay, so
clear.
Some people see. Some
yes,
people
some of us have. Yes.
And some people can touch them or they can feel a touch. You notice coming to think of it, you know, Melody.
Yeah.
You're people when we're growing up and you walk a night because we used to go to night church or wherever you go, if you go look for somebody and you walk home in a night, I always tell you, when you smell anything, you know, if you say it.
Yes.
Sometimes you smell something and you say, and what smells so?
Yes.
You smell some like a sweet smelling thing or so, you know. You say, what's and them always say to you, say, smell anything, do nothing.
They're trying to communicate with you.
So now that I hear you talk about the smell, people don't say nothing when you smell it. Don't say nothing. Don't talk about it.
Right.
Don't say
because
nothing.
They don't want
you smell it.
Because they don't want you to know that the spirit knows that you're there. If the spirit knows that you're there, they're gonna try to get you to communicate. They want them to. Well, somebody can't communicate. Cause remember, I know they are spirit without a flesh. You are spirit in a flesh. So now you can build the bridge between that spirit. They might say, "Oh, somebody can recognize me now. Oh, somebody knows me there." So that make them excited. So them send you that smell, make you smell them, or something, or a song, make you hear it. They're constantly communicating with us.
It's just for us to be able to know when they are communicating with us.
Yes. And
that ability to understand, because some people don't know, some have developed that ability, and some are willing to develop the ability to communicate with them. As soon as you understand that, listen, this is during my development, depending on your purpose, what is it that you really want out of life?
Who and they will protect you. Once you're on your journey,
and to
and once you're on your journey, and once you're living your truth, right?
Yes,
once
I'm hearing.
Once you're living your truth, what your truth is what the gift that you come here with you turn around and teach it to others and share it with others is when you're living your truth. And once you're living your truth is when they draw closer to you and they protect you on your journey. You're protected and cover you because that's what they
Yeah.
send you here to do. So they will cover you. They will protect you.
Mm. Right. So, what's the difference between an empath and a clairvoyant person?
So it's the same thing. It's just the clairvoyant is just so an empath is a person that has they would say has empathy, but it's the same thing. The clairvoyant is just parts of the empath, right? Because you will have some empaths who are just clairvoyant, or you might have some empaths that are seers. You might have some clairvoyants that are just audio or both audios, but the empath is just the broader sense of it.
Okay. Get you. Understanding you a little clearer as we go through in the conversation.
I want to touch
The
on
fire,
something,
the water. All right, go ahead. Go now, because we kind of lost you earlier. Say you want to touch on something.
So before the show, all day today, I was seeing, look, I'm seeing 707 right now. And all day I was seeing 777777 and 333333. And in my notes here, 33 represents communicator. It represents Gemini. It represents Aquarius, right? And number 7, the number 7 represents
Come
speaker.
again. Come 33.
33. It means the communicator. The communicator. So
okay.
when you see it more than one time, that means it's being magnified.
That is 33. You say
that is 33. The communicator. It represents Gemini, the air sign, right? And the Gemini represents the air sign, right? And so a Gemini's gift is their voice, right? And so the universe was sending me a message that I'm delivering something through the air. You know, I'm going to be communicating. And I'm doing it on a massive scale. That's why I kept on seeing and repeating numbers. And then the number 7 that I kept on seeing represents the speaker, right? And that's you, as we talked about last time we spoke. And the speaker is also an air sign that represents the Libra. And a Libra is a scale, balance, order. You know,
you're kind of breaking up there. The we say Libra.
So the Libra represents
the
speaker.
Scale. We never hear.
So the Libra is a seeker, and the seeker is also an air sign. That's the Libra, and the Libra is the scale that balances everything. That's the Libra represents order. That Libra comes in and want to keep everything balanced. The yin and the yang. The 6 and the 9 behind you, and the 7.
Yes, we talked about that last time. The 6, the 9, and the 7.
So basically what it's telling us is that we're on the right track. We're on the right path. We're doing the right thing. And the message that we are conveying is getting to the right people. It's not going to get everybody, but it's going to the right people. That's why them say many are called and few are chosen. It's not everybody going to get this. And it's not for everyone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Not everybody will understand it.
No,
Not everybody will get it. Not everybody will be on
no.
this path. And as you
Mm-mm.
say, many are called,
You are
few are
chosen.
chosen.
Yeah.
Many are called, chosen. We got to be. Yes,
Hmm.
that song comes to we I certainly melody. I'm getting
Yes.
understanding now, you know, as to what happens, what obtains in that other world, you know. Yeah. Because the world that created for us, this is the world that us. So when we start, you, you and know I'm getting to understand of this world, and in understanding this other world, it will certainly guide us that has been created for us.
Yeah.
Something earlier and
Yep.
reminded. It's a it's a statement from Confucius,
Hmm.
and he said numbers and symbols, numbers and symbols govern the world, not rules and laws.
Right. Right.
Numbers and symbols
Yes.
govern the world, not laws.
And laws. Yep. Yep.
That is something that I said yes, it was just yesterday that I
Yeah.
read it, and I'm saying, wow, I'm
Hmm.
hearing this a day before I plan to come and talk to Melody about
Hmm.
symbols, about signs, about numbers, about the birth chart, and that message just came. I was listening something, I was reading something rather, and I just
Yeah.
saw the thing pop up, or I was watching it. I was watching it, and some up that with that statement from Confucius. And wow, wow. And there are people in the world, Melody,
Yeah.
who know this,
Of course.
that it is numbers and symbols. So numbers
They,
and
they,
symbols are very important. But
they
we on
hide
this side of
everything in
earth
in
now,
clear
we
sight.
are made to believe otherwise.
Yes. They hide everything
It is
in clear
hidden clear
sight.
sight. You're right.
Yes.
It is hidden
Uh,
in clear sight.
listen, I'm gonna
Yes,
read a page
you're
out of this book.
right in front of our eyes. It is.
You see this book
Mm.
here? I'm gonna read a page about the number 7 in this book. And I started reading this page when I knew I was coming on. It says all numbers from 1 to 9, number 7 is universally considered a spiritual, mystical, occult, and lucky number. Amongst all great religions, there is no disagreement that the number 7 is the number of God and all things mystic. It has long been associated with priests, monks, seekers, mystics, researchers, tech, technic, tech, technicians, artists, artists, and musicians. Even in the game of chance, the lucky number 1 to 7 wins out. So they gave you examples of the number 7. So in nature, the number 7 is found 7 days a week, 52 weeks in a year. The 5 plus the 2 equals 7. They have 7 major planets.
Hold on.
Saturn.
Wait, hold on. I want you to go back from dated with
Which one?
now. So we did here.
Which one?
You just start reading number 7. Go back
So
to us from number
so
7. We started
so
reading about number
so
7.
okay. So the number 7 is found in all form of expressions in nature and in human life. The number 7 represents the source of truth, wisdom, understanding. I like to say understanding and perfection. After all, God blessed the seventh day. Genesis 2 verses 3. So in nature, the number 7 is found in the seven day of the week, 52 weeks of the year. The 5 plus the 2 is 7. 7 major planets: Saturn, Mars, Venus, Mercury, the moon, and the sun. The 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 notes of a musical scale, the major scale, 7 major metals, lead, tin, iron, quicksilver, gold, copper, silver. 7 wonders of the world, and it goes on. So there's things that they know that is hidden in plain sight. Okay, listen to this. So age 7,
As
the
if-
age of reason. You hear me?
7
Okay, listen to this. In humans,
is
the 7 represents 7 natural divisions in the brain, 7 functions in the nervous system, 7 compartments in the heart, 7 major organs, 7 holes in the body, 7 psychic centers, menstrual cycle of a woman's average 28 days, 4 times 7. A minor wound heals in 7 days. This is so mind-blowing. And this thing goes on and on and on.
And which book is that again? Remind us of that book that you're reading.
This one is called Numbers and You by Lloyd Starringham. I can't say the name good. Strayhorn.
The book.
Strayhorn.
Put the book up so we can look at the cover. So if we see it somewhere, we can identify it. Numbers and You. Numbers
Yes, it's
and
on,
You.
I got it
Let
on
us see
Amazon.
what it looks like. Okay. Amazon. So that is like Numbers and You. Sounds like an interesting book that I myself would want to
Yes.
read. Because when I hear you talk about 7, these are not makeup stories. We
No.
read these 7 this 7 that those are facts you want to
Yes.
say.
Numbers don't lie. The number 6.
So and
The one I don't know for sure.
so
The number 6. They make it look like 666 is some evil number. The 6 is us. It's melanated people. The 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neurons.
The
666.
666.
666.
But we understand. We were told. We were taught. We were made to believe that 666 now sign of the is a sign of the devil and it is demonic and so on. So
yes,
you are saying otherwise. 666 is
yes, they don't want us to know who we are.
6 neurons.
6 protons, 6 neurons, and 6 electrons.
Wow.
That's the chemical makeup of the melanin human. That's the chemical makeup.
We hear you a while ago. We heard 6.
You heard me?
Chemical makeup
of the melanin human. They're talking about us.
6 protons. Okay.
6 protons, 6 neurons, and 6 electrons. And when you look at this, look at the way this thing looks. This is what it looks like under the microscope. I don't know if you can see it.
I'm not able to see it. I don't know if
so if you Google it, right?
I don't know, but tell us.
You Google it.
Okay, tell us what it is so we can Google it ourselves.
So it's if you type in the chemical makeup of the melanin human, it's basically a drop of DNA under the microscope,
Okay,
right?
chemical
And in order for it
chemical
to be a,
of the melanin
Hmm?
human.
the chemical makeup of
Chemical makeup.
melanin of
Uh-huh.
the melanin human. Melanin human, right? Carbon
All right.
atom is a carbon
Chemical
atom.
makeup of human.
Yes, the melanin power. If you type it in, it will come up in many different forms, but just type in 6 protons, 6 neurons, and 6 electrons.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at this image under the
Electrons, okay.
microscope, it's like a circle, right? And all of you see the different shapes of the neurons
Uh-huh.
around the nuclei, orbiting the electrons.
Mhm.
And then it looks just like the solar system. It looks exactly like the sun and the solar systems around it. So this is us.
Mm.
We're just in physical, but we are so more than just a physical being. We're
Mhm.
more
But then
spiritual
we're
than
made
we
to
are.
believe that 6
Yes.
is some demonic thing. Mark of
Yes.
the beast. We are told
Yes.
666 are the mark of the beast. So nobody wants to identify 666.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm.
Exactly.
Somebody once said, listen, if it is good
Uh-huh.
for them, if they tell you that it is good for you, opposite.
Exactly.
If they tell you that it's bad for you, know that opposite.
All right, there
And
you
I have
go.
started to look into that, you know.
Yes. Flip it upside down.
And that's
Flip
what
it
this thing look
upside
like a
down.
true. Once
Yes.
you hear it is
Turn it upside down.
So and the
So happy to share this with you.
is
All
right.
right, listen. Let me do
there.
an exercise from the book
Okay.
now, right?
Stay with Is Abe still stay with us for a little more time?
Yes, I can. I love talking about this stuff. So let me give you a piece out of the book.
All
So your
right, bring
personal
it back. Give
year.
exercise from the
Everybody's
book.
gonna love this.
Taking a break.
No, listen. You're gonna love this. Listen. So your
We're taking a
personal
break.
year forecast.
Back.
Oh, you're taking a break.
Exercise.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
One spirit, we were meant
Good,
to
right, that's
be.
it.
Two hearts, we were meant to be. One love, our love is meant to be. Two bodies, we were meant to be. One spirit, we were meant to be. Two hearts, we were meant to be. One, our love is meant to be. Grateful for this love that is of a great magnitude. It makes me soar to the highest altitude. The perfect reflection of violence you are to me. This devotion flows through our hearts, love language fluently. Two bodies, we were meant to be. One spirit, in love we both agree. Two hearts, caught in destiny. One love, designed to set us free. We were meant to be. One spirit, in love we both agree. Two hearts, caught in destiny. Love, designed to set us free. You brighten the light like a star. Love is everything ever. Swear the painting of a future radiates violently. Creation of this union is expressed delightfully. Two bodies, we were meant to be. One spirit in love, two hearts caught in destiny. One love designed to set us free. Two bodies, we were meant to. One spirit in love, we both agree. Two hearts caught in destiny. Love designed to set us free. Two bodies.
That's Empress Naftali out of South Africa. She's saying two bodies we were meant to be as men. And she's really meant, we are under how she's trying to take us through from birth, understanding the birth chart, the time of year that you were born, the place that you were born, that is your location, day that you were born. All of these things have a bearing on your life and how life really is. So it's like your path was charted out from the beginning, from the very conception. There's a chart and a say life I got set. Is that what you're saying, Melody? So we can't go outside of what was charts.
No.
Can we?
Mm-mm. No, you can't. Your path was already set for you to come to earth.
It's so it's set, as them say.
727 balance. So it's set. You can't switch it. Right?
So your path was created, another path they have to walk. And if you don't, because some people don't walk their path.
Some people don't walk their path and them have to just them lose the body.
You don't walk your
and
path.
Have to come back, start over again.
You don't want to think.
Right.
So you're really an unfulfilled life because you're not serving your purpose.
Right.
And you don't walk your path.
Right.
That's how I'm understanding it.
Yes, exactly. And I'll give you an example. According to this book, Numbers and You, your personal year forecast, there's a way to calculate your forecast of what to expect in a certain year. So say for instance, what you do is you add up the month you were born, the day you were born, with the year of question. So for instance, give me year one. And we can do this year
again.
Come again, Melody. So it's called your personal year forecast, and it can tell you what your life, what to expect.
Your personal year
forecast. They have day forecast, they have month forecast, but in this case, we're gonna do the year.
Which year we want to see, what year forecast.
So let's do this year. Let's do this year. So
2022.
So give me your month again. The month. Your month.
Time this evening with this connection. Really.
I know.
We want to do this year 2022.
Yes, let's do this year and see. Because you already know this. It's at the end now. So let's see if you fulfill all of what you want to do.
Okay.
So your month was when?
So
the
go
4th?
back with the device. Keep the device where it was before.
Can you hear me?
Again, yes, that's it.
Okay. Are you hearing me okay now?
2022.
Yes. So your date
and
of month was
is
what?
April, yes.
April, and then your date. April, your day of birth.
My date is the 23rd of April. 23rd.
23rd, and then you do 222. So you add up those numbers, the 4, the
23
23,
April. And if we're doing,
and 222.
tell me how we work that out.
What you get?
How do we work it out?
So you add up those numbers
No,
till you get a
I
single.
mean some of what I mean. So tell me what you have gotten.
So I have 6. A
All
single
of them
number.
till you get a single number.
Yes.
Tell me what you have got.
I have number 6.
You have gotten 6.
I got 6 for
And tell us what number.
2022.
12
Is that what you got?
1 3 is 5, 5 and 4 is 9. That's 6.
All right,
So
that's what you get?
From 20 and 4.
Okay. So number 6.
So we have 6.
Okay. So let me read what your the theme of
I don't know if
2022 for you was.
that is how it is done.
So your personal year is broken down by
Hold on,
the
Melody.
theme.
Hold on. Let us see how we
Okay.
can work this one out. So we're having a real bad connection, Melody.
I know.
How are we going to fix it?
They can't stop it going on. I can't stop it.
Huh? Start again.
All right. So
You
did
can't
you
stop
get
it.
number? Them can't
So
stop
let's
it,
go
man.
from 2022. This sound a little, this sound like.
So you added up the 4, the 23, and 2022, and you got the number 6.
So work with me again. From 2020, you get 6.
Yep. And okay, so you have
Added
6.
it up.
Yes. And what did
Uh-huh.
you get?
Mhm. Then after 6, we would have what?
Okay, so I'm gonna read off your year.
23.
So your
Would be
personal year is the number 6. Okay, I'm gonna read it off for you from this book.
okay.
Okay, so the whole theme of your personal year is
Numbers
duty.
and you. Mhm.
Yes, the whole theme of your personal year number 6 is duty, domestic activity, family life, and responsibility. That's you. Now, the description. When entering a person,
Okay,
a
and
6 person. So I'm going to give you the description of your personal number 6 for this year. So when entering a 6 personal year cycle, activities will center around home, family, loved ones, and romantic escapades. What word I said?
Wow.
Historic appreciation. Historic appreciation will run high towards anything beautiful, with a strong appeal to the eye. In matters of the home, there are strong indications that you may move out of one and important and into another. Going back to school, graduating, or taking additional educational courses may also be stored. You'll receive many invitations to social functions, galas, arts, opening festivals, and the like. Attend these functions since opportunities for achievements are evident. If you were born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month, you should, or your sign should be Taurus, Libra, or Cancer. This is a very important year cycle for you. So you have the options of health, career, travel. So this book goes so deep in just who, what you're about to do. And I'm sure a lot of these you have done.
So of that book, Melody, so I can do the calculations myself and look from about the year chart that you are reading there, because it's not coming through clearly. The internet is really fluctuating this evening badly.
It is. Yes.
Where we have this kind of disturbance with the fact that we don't hear our guests clearly, and the people who are broadcasting to might have the same challenge, and it takes back first when we want to have a good conversation and the internet is fluctuating. But a lot of information came up, a number of important points that you made, so we know that we have basic information. We can start understanding really who we are and what purpose we serve, and how we can find out our purpose, because a lot of people don't find them true purpose for being here. And if there's a way you can do it and find out, then why should we try to find a way? And because a lot of us are not, a lot of people, a number of people going with the wind. Anywhere the wind blow them, and it I don't think that is how there's supposed to be structure. There's supposed to be order. If you purpose, there's you have, and then like you can with her, you have to do it. And no wonder some people do some things and you say, why did them continue? It is there. I help them. It is something they have to do. They have to fulfill their purpose. A number of us were sent here on earth we were sent here to help other people, them. We were sent here to teach. We were sent to protect someone, protect other people, and we need to start understanding our purpose. School, for the most part, not the most part at all. Because everybody studying, everybody doing this, everybody teaching couldn't be the same way. So I all concerned about just choke up in so many people, but they going to turn be that always a little concern time. And again, I realized that
exactly.
We're sent here whether or not will come out. Everything's earned from. Do what you love. Do what makes your heart full. Do it to smile. That is, I would think, is a part. That's where you copy though, and I really want to thank you, Melody. We had a bad connection this year. That persons would have heard, sufficient to kind of give them an understanding as to what we really wanted to come out of the discussion. I certainly have gotten a lot just listening to you, and I really want to give you thanks. I really want to big you up as a female out in Babylon, as we call it. standing up,
Thank you. Steve.
chart understanding your life and where you're coming up to do.
Mm-hmm.
And phase
Yep.
in which you can determine, is part of my journey, is this
Yeah.
part of my trod, am I supposed to take us, and when you
Right.
start to kind of find your way through those questions, that no doubt you will understand your journey as you allow yourself. Don't be too quick. Take your time,
Right.
because these
Right.
things take time, as you would say. Take your
Yes,
time
it
to learn,
does.
but the important thing is that you're prepared to learn, and you
Yep.
are learning. Some of us blow up from these. Once you hear these things, we block your mind.
Yes.
Say, no, sir, me no want hear nothing about them.
Yes.
Something them is some
Yes.
thing deep,
Yes.
or some dopey kind of story.
Yes.
Once we don't block our own, we don't know
Mhm.
everything.
Yep.
We don't
No.
know everything. We don't know everything.
Mm-hmm. No, we
Some
don't.
people say, well, I want book I want.
Mhm.
If that's just me, no problem, carry on. But the
Mhm.
other people, don't talk about them. Don't be angry with them. Just allow them
Right.
to
Right.
to go through their life and
Yep.
to, because truth with
Mhm.
us don't have the same purpose. We
Yep.
don't have the same purpose. So
No.
we will not like the same things. We will not walk the same
Right.
path.
Right.
We walk
You have many
different
trees in the
purposes.
forest, and none of them is the same,
For
even if they come from the same seed.
just some disturbance with the internet, but them can't stop we. No more
You
can
can't
go
stop
out
it. Yeah,
and
man. Who ear?
continue to go out. Thank you, my sister. Thank you for
Thank
this
you.
discussion this
Thank you.
Friday evening. It's
Thank you.
the date coming up on December 6th to give you a
Yes.
shout out on my
Thank you.
platform in my space.
Thank you.
All the very best, Melody.
Same to
Care,
you.
and we'll
Same to
talk
you.
after
Thank
the
you.
program. Few things I need to talk to you about and see some things.
Okay. Definitely.
Thank you so much,
Thank
friend.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Blessings,
Same
and
to you.
continue to listen to the spirit and ancestors.
Always. Yeah, man. Them guide me. Nico. Yeah.
Wrapping up cultural mix. It is December 2, Friday, December 2, and can you imagine? We had disturbance throughout the discussion with Melody, but what is, and we just have to accept that, and that is why we say you must continue to give some contribution to the station. The radiothon that we had, it's not done. So you continue to give your contribution, because how would I come out of this, though, Julia, with this buffering and buffer? What we plan to do? We'll get some satellite feed, eh? This is it's not sure, but guess what? You who .com, they would be fine. That continues to buffer, and you find sometimes. So guess what? We have to get a way to work around this. It is what it is when you don't have your own service. How would we get around it anyway? Let us see how things will improve in the weeks to come. We are heading into finishing off 1 year and into a new year, a new dispensation. We want to thank everyone who tuned in this evening. We want to thank Rosalie. We saw you. We also want to thank Lee May. So saw you. There are other persons that we didn't see, but we know you were listening to us. And we thank you for being with us Fridays at this time. We thank you. Enjoy your weekend, where we will have another discussion with another guest. We say thank you so much. Take care. We're leaving out of here with Imara, standing 10 feet tall. 'Cause that's what we have to do. Stand tall feel. Life is life, and we're living life.
This is Fit FM.
Fit FM 96.